Hey, hi, how's it going, my friends? She has found her spot. She has claimed her spot. She's got two spots on the back patio. The perch, where she can be higher than everyone else, and the sofa outdoors, which she's not supposed to be on, but she's claimed it as her own, so we're just gonna let her have it. My plan for today, we're moving some hostas. This area over here was a fully shaded bed. Also, all of the plants that we bought, all the pittosporum, the beach balls, I think we've decided to put them here. They're not on the ground. They are on the sidewalk currently in their cans, but we have decided to put them over here, I think. I think that'll be so pretty. We're going to use them as a boxwood alternative. Just got distracted. Sorry. This whole area used to be a lot more shade. We had a tree that we removed. It was like right here. Took it out. It was a privet tree. It had to come out. It was not great. Just total garbage of a tree. It's out. This area is now going to be full sun this year. I had hostas in this bed. That is not going to work for this area. I cannot have hostas here. So before they wake up, I need to move them. It's very important that I get these moved now. I probably should have moved them immediately after we removed the tree, but I didn't. And so here we are now, moving them as things are starting to wake up in my garden. So I have hostas here, and then I have some hostas tucked in to this side. And I also have a couple over here, but I'm not 100% certain where they are. So we're gonna dig around a little bit in this area. I think there's one here, and I think there's one somewhere over here. Don't quite remember. Ooh, look at that, I power washed the fence. I did a really good job. But the one that's over here, this one is so good. And you can see the rain, because now, look at the worms. Ugh, we sprayed tea seed meal before it rained. But the rain is coming down, and what's happening is it is ruining the roots on this. Before this wasn't here. This was further back. And so the rain could like spread out better. We didn't think about that. I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna put some drainage to go underneath the walkway. That'll help a little bit. But I've got to dig this hosta up because it's starting to wake up. See those sprouts right there? That's it starting to wake up. That's it starting to wake up next to the worm. So we're going to dig up all the hostas, and then I'm going to put them along here. I think I have 4 of one variety, and I'm just going to tuck them in along this side. And then that one that I showed you where you could see the roots and where it was sprouting, I only have one of those. I don't know the variety of it. It was one of the very first plants that I bought when we moved to this property. And so it's kind of old, so I'm a little bit bummed to have to move it because it gets bigger and better every single year. But I'm not exactly sure where I want that one to go. I am thinking maybe putting it here. I mean, this is a pretty shaded bed, especially with the pergola and then the rows of Sharon that's here. This area does stay nice and shaded, so I do think that they'll do really good. We're definitely going to get all of the ones that I have one variety of right here, and then we'll hold off on the other one. I was also thinking about taking some of them and tucking them under the Vitex, which is right here. I was thinking that would be really pretty. I think that might be a cool look, to have some nice big foliar green growth under there. I wanted something under there and I wasn't quite sure what I would put there. So the one variety that I have just one of, I think I've got 3 over there that I only have one of. And so I think that if I could just grab all 3 of those and just dot those 3 in there together, that would be kind of just like a fun mix of texture. We'll see. We're gonna start with just the one variety. I've got my kneeling pad. I've got my gloves because I'm going to get so muddy today. And then I've also got some slow release fertilizer. I'm going with the Osmoma Biotone. I just found it locally, so that's what we're going in with today. I'm gonna dig it up, try to get as much of the roots as possible because these things are starting to wake up. Fingers crossed that they come back beautifully this year. They should come back beautifully this year. You can divide hostas. I just don't like to move things because we're currently on year like 5 of this hosta, and it looks beautiful when it's fully grown, and it gets really pretty flowers. I don't mind hosta flowers. Some people don't like them. I don't mind them. I've got a pile of 4 hostas right there. They're very small. They were planted kind of late in the season. I swear I had a 5th one, so I'm sure at some point it will come up in this bed. Just couldn't find it. I dug up the one that was by the gutter, and that one had a really good root system. And then I dug up 2 over here, one that was planted there and one that was planted back there. And I swear I had a 3rd one tucked in right in front of the fountain, but I couldn't find it. So I'm sure it'll come up at some point this year. And then when it does, then I'll go ahead and transplant that one. But those 2 have really, really great root systems on them. So I've got 6 of them, and now I'm kind of thinking, do I just plant all 6 of them in one spot and do kind of like a really cool show of hostas? I think what I'm going to do is just place them on the ground over there and then just kind of go from there and see if that looks good, if that works for me. I think it'll work. I think it'll be good. I think all 6 would be kind of fun. It would be a lot of different textures, a lot of different foliar growth. Some of these are really light green. Some of them are really dark green. Some of them, one of them, the one that's by the gutter, has kind of like a darker edge. It's either a darker edge or a lighter edge. That's helpful. And then some of them are kind of like the translucent green. One of them is blue. I think it'll be good. I think it would be fun to do a whole bunch of different textures in this area. Oh, also my clematis is blooming. So right here, this is a clematis called Armandii, and she's blooming. Look how pretty her blooms are, and they smell so good. They're so fragrant. I do unfortunately have to take it out this year. This section is going to be a little bit too much sun for it, but I wanted to leave it because I wanted to get the blooms this year. So once this thing starts to cook and burn, we're gonna take it out. We'll grow something else. This is just too much sun for this area. What I'll probably do is I'll cut it back and then I will let it just completely regrow. She would like to go inside. She doesn't like the sound of the jets or the thunder or whatever it is up above. I think I'm gonna let her inside really quick, and then I'm going to just place those hostas and kind of see how I feel about that vibe. You wanna go in? Let's go. am really excited to see those grow in this year. I think that's going to be beautiful. This whole bed is going to be just lined with hostas right up against it, which is perfect because this is going to be a very shaded area. The Helen von Stein is here. That does well in the shade. This heuchera does really well in the shade. And then I have 4 more heucheras over there that are green color. And so it all should just blend in. I know that some of these hostas that I put in are going to get quite large. So that is something that I do need to kind of be mindful of. But I can always divide them as the years go on if they need to be divided. But I do think that that's going to be a nice pop of like foliar growth down there and a little bit of color, which will be really nice. I mean, it's going to be green. This whole bed is a lot of green. And so I did say I wanted to change that this year. But, you know, I just added more green into the bed. I would like to change that this year with flowers. I would like to add flowers into this bed and change that. I mean, I did take out some things that were just green, which is nice. So we're getting there. It's going to be a work in progress, this bed this year. Yeah, I'm very happy with how those hostas are going to eventually look in the garden. They look like nothing right now because they're just roots. The only other thing that we're going to do today is take care of the hydrangea that's right here. It's starting to break dormancy. This one is the Endless Summer Hydrangea. It was the very first hydrangea that I ever bought on my property. It performs really well. And I mean, like, really well. For some reason, I still am getting one just little teeny tiny baby bloom. Not sure what that's about. But it bloomed up until very, very recently. And so I'm very happy with this hydrangea. But it's starting to break dormancy. And so I do need to cut it back. And this is like the only stem that's this tall. Not sure why it's this tall, but we're going to cut it back today. Pretty simple. I'm not 100% certain on when to prune hydrangeas. Certain types of hydrangeas, I get confused by them. This one, I Googled it. It says that it blooms on new wood and old wood, so I should be good to prune it anytime. So we're going to get this one in check. I'm going to at least get off these spent blooms and then just kind of get it in check. There is some dead growth on here. There's some really old growth on here. And I just kind of want to bring this thing back to a decent shape. So I'm going to grab my pruners really quick and then we're going to trim that up. And I think that's all I have left to do today because it's about to start storming. It got really cold, like to the bone cold just a few minutes ago. So this was a pretty hard cut back. It did come up to my chest. Now it comes up to about my knee. But basically what I did is I came through. Anything that was larger than a pencil got to stay. So all of these. And then anything smaller than a pencil got cut out. And then also anything that was damaged or dead also got cut out. So like some of these branches I came through and I scratched them. See how that was just brown? That means it's dead. So there was no growth that was going to come from this at all. And I could also tell because this one branch didn't really have any like swollen growth points compared to the rest of the plant that did have some growth points that were very swollen or had already started to break dormancy. So that's ones that I wanted to leave. And then I did cut out some smaller ones that did have some growth points to them, but the stems on them were really small, much smaller than a pencil. So they had to go. But if you scratch it, see how it's green under there? That's how you know it's alive. So if you're ever not sure about a part of your plant, and this really goes for any type of woody shrub, if you come through and you scratch it just a little tiny bit, you just need to scratch it like that much. Don't come through and scratch the whole plant like that. Just give it just a little scratch and then you can see if it's green. If it's green, it can stay. If it's not green, if it's just brown underneath, it's probably dead and it can get cut out. And you can see, so this is last year's stem. This was 2 years ago's stem. So you can see there's a color difference, but just because it's this color does not mean that it is a dead branch. It just means that it's just an older piece of growth. But I think I'm gonna go inside now. We still have a lot of work to do out here. A lot of that is just garbage. But I'm like cold down to the bone. My fingertips are numb and it's just like, it's not freezing, but it's just like a a hard cold, you know? It just really gets you. So I'm gonna go inside. We got the hostas moved, which needed to happen. I still do think that there's 2 more over there, which is fine because I'll just put them in line with those other ones. I'm actually really excited to see those grow this year. I think that's gonna be so pretty. I did watch an episode of Monty Don, and these guys, they use a garlic spray to keep slugs off of their hostas. All they do is grow hostas, and they mix garlic, they boil it in water, and they make like a really potent like tea, and then they dilute it, and then they just spray it on their hostas, and they do it once a week, and they had 0 damage from slugs and snails. So I'm gonna try that this year. Once they start to emerge, I'll let you guys know. What's really nice is for most of you guys, spring happens a little bit later, so I'll be able to kind of test it out and see how it works, and I'll give you guys updates as our hostas come along. I'm expecting our hostas to start breaking dormancy here in about 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, a month at most. But I should have them starting to grow up, and once I see those sprouts even just start, I'm going to do this garlic mix, and hopefully that keeps those slugs and snails at bay. I'm also going to probably go in with a little bit of that sluggo stuff that I've been using. It's 50-50 on how well that stuff works. Anyways, I'm going inside. It's cold. I hope that you guys enjoyed this. Thank you so much for coming along with me today and visiting in the garden. We'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.